Hey, y'all. It's your girl, the real deal, Anita Gill. One second. Give y'all time enough to get in here. Give y'all time enough to get in here. Um, I've been following the four Idaho students case since they came out, and I kind of like trying to put this case together, but mentally, I think something else is going on here. Hold on, y'all. Go ahead on to get yourself together and get situated. I give y'all time to get in here. Lord, I can't stand that glare. Hold on, y'all. Um, I'm telling my son I had problem with the glare thing, so I'm gonna try to get them before they leave, going back home today, to set it up on my television. Okay. Thanks for joining. This is about Kohberger. Kohberger is the alleged suspect that has, not him, but he's the alleged suspect that has been arrested behind the four Idaho students killing. Okay. Me, I don't believe he's the killer. I believe he's been blamed or set up to be the killer, or he was set up to do this. So I think that if he goes down, everybody who involved in the case should go down. Now, this is one of Kohberger former friends. I noticed most of his former friends either look like drug dealers or either uh, uh, it's something about them. Now, this young man right here is going to tell the background that he heard about Kohberger. Kohberger's supposed to be their former friend, but everything you say something, every time someone speak on Kohberger, I'm not taking up for Kohberger. I'm just saying, y'all. I think that these people who getting on television is saying that he was weird, but he's this, but he was cool. But they giving me a vibe setting this dude up. Goldberger's so smart until he's slow in life. You know how dump street smart, he ain't street smart. So this dude right here look like a street dude. Kohlberger is education. He got the head, he's head struck. He's street struck where Kohlberger wouldn't even know if he doing something wrong. Let's listen to this and we're gonna react to it.
Period of time. Rick, what can you tell me about the suspect? What was he like?
Um, he was just your average guy. I met him.
Okay, he was just your average guy. Everybody know Kohlberger is not the average guy. He's not the average guy. Okay, the average guy is not him. Okay, but listen to his former friend.
Through some friends, and they told me that he was a little weird.
Okay, the friends told him that Kohlberger, Bryan Kohlberger, was a little weird, but you smiling. So you like that, don't you? Okay, he likes that. And look how he looking.
And he was a little socially awkward. I
He
guess.
was socially awkward, but you want to hang with him. See, if he's social awkward, y'all, he is a dude that won't think the way they think, won't do what they do. He can get tricked in doing what they do. Y'all watch these people who keep coming on here. These dudes coming on here saying good and bad things about him.
You could say. Um, but he wasn't a bad guy. He needed a job, so I worked at a pizza shop.
See, he needed a job. He just said it. Bryan needed a job. Bryan would do anything for money to help his family and himself. Yeah, are these poor families that we're talking about, Kohberger and the other girls who go to the college? Are these poor families? What kind of families are we dealing with? We just asking questions, y'all. Then you could get in the mind of him. He would do it if he said that he was looking for a job. So if Bryan looking for a job, Bryan would do anything for money. Bryan would do anything for money, y'all. Let's not sit him and and say that he wouldn't do this for money. Yes, Bryan will do this anything for money. Okay. The dude just said that.
That time, and they were hiring. I said, "Yeah, come on in and apply," and he did, and he got the job. So
He got a job. Listen to this nice dude. He felt sorry for Bryan. Cause Bryan didn't get a job, but Bryan got all these background degrees and PhDs, PhD, PhDs, and bachelor degrees, and he can't get no job. And then he have to go to a poor little guy like him and get a job. What's going on right here? You got all the education in the world and ain't got no job.
I worked with him for a little bit, but he was quiet though.
What
He
was
doesn't ever come off
conversation
the
like with
fire.
him?
What was that?
What was conversation like with him? Like when you talk with him at work, would he look you in your eyes? Did he have friends? Did he have a girlfriend at the time?
Um, it was so long ago. It was like 2013, but he didn't have a girlfriend. I do remember that. And my wife went to school with him. They graduated together, and she doesn't remember him ever having a girlfriend, and I don't remember him ever having a girlfriend. And and he didn't have many friends, so he like would do anything to fit in, and would do like, just he just wanted to be liked by everybody. But he
See,
wasn't.
I like him. He being honest. Ain't nobody listening to this dude. This dude just said positive and things that he saw in Bryan. He gave Bryan a job, y'all. And Bryan got all these. I still can't believe he got all these degrees. He's supposed to be smart, but ain't got no job. He didn't have a girlfriend at the time, but he did have a girlfriend. He didn't have a girlfriend at that moment.
A bad kid. Like, he was all right. And I knew his sister. I went to school with his sister. And I knew his father worked for the school. And I believe his mother did too. But his family, they were all nice people. And, his dad was always really nice to
Okay,
him and
now
everything.
now that clear everything up with me. His parents had money. His parents was teachers. So Bryan had teachers. Bryan got a degree, but he couldn't get a job, a real job.
Right? But I never thought that he
Was
would
there
do
any
something like that.
He just let the man talk. Reporter, let the man talk. He said that I would never think that Bryan would do nothing like that. All of these people are going to testify for Bryan. Bryan might not even be the killer.
Good copy. So we've heard from some people that surrounded him that there may have been drug use in his life prior as well. Did you know him to use drugs or anything like this, sir?
Yeah, he did use drugs. That's how I.
Okay, Bryan, that's your problem. You might be the killer, Bryan, now. This dude, I like him. I like him. Prosecutor need to get him. They need to get him. He used drugs. If he used drugs at the time, Bryan don't even know who he was. Bryan didn't even know he did this. He could. Bryan could be the killer, but mentally within himself, he don't know he killed. He wasn't himself because he was on drugs. I like you. He was on drugs. Drugs make you do stuff like that.
I really know him too. He was a big heroin addict, and so was I.
Oh man, heroin addicts. That was back then. He was heroin addict, and I think Bryan was still dipping and dabbing, dabbing and dipping. He used to be a heroin addict, but he a recovery heroin addict. He may be dipping and dabbing. We don't know, but Bryan probably dipped back into it. This happened in 2013, but this 2022, you can easily relapse.
I got 6 years clean now. I work in treatment and everything, but back then I was using, and so that's how I know for a fact he was using. I've got high with him a couple times and used with him.
Oh my God, God, we need him, y'all. He need him. I guarantee you, Bryan got him in his on his team. Bryan don't look like he a recovery addict. You see the bones scrunching, and you see you can tell about he a recovery addict, but they can relapse though. He don't gain weight. I don't know him, but his fat face. Bryan bones showing. Bryan could have slipped and went back, y'all. And I'm not gonna still say he the killer.
And but I remember one night we went out and his car broke down, and his dad had to come out, and he got pretty angry. Well, because his car broke down and everything, and we couldn't get what we needed that night. But and I knew other people that dealt drugs, and we would deliver drugs to him a lot. And so that's when I heard about this case. I haven't heard from him in so long, and then I heard about this, and it said that he was going to college. I said, I haven't heard from him. I guess that's what he's been doing. He must have cleaned up. I know he was in and out of rehab a couple times, but he really did. He cleaned up and was going to college all these years.
Bryan, I'm gonna tell you. So I like you. I hope he don't be on Bryan team. Uh, this would help the case because he was a heroin addict with Bryan. So this would help the case. He straightened his act up and did. So what Bryan did was allegedly went back. We don't know. We don't know because he went to college. He cleaned himself up and go to college. But we don't know if he go to clean himself to go to college to make more money to do what he did.
I'm short on time, but I got to ask you one last question. We've heard from people that he had a track record of being inappropriate, borderline offensive to women. Did you ever see that in any of your interactions with him and interactions with women?
Not in my time knowing him. I've never seen him ever ever act like that towards women. I've never seen him come off that way ever towards anybody.
See, something ain't right about this case, y'all. Even if he was on drugs with Bryan, he ain't never seen Bryan do this while he even high. If he defend Bryan, this gonna tell a lot about this case. He could be a still heroin addict, y'all. We don't know.
Rich, thank you so much for joining the program. I'm sorry I'm short on time. Hopefully we'll come back.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So what y'all think about what y'all just heard? What do anybody do this favor for me? Put down in the box. I'm gonna take it back where he said Bryan. It's very important that y'all hear this part. He said he can't believe that this young man did that. Even if he was on heroin at the time, he still don't believe Bryan did that. Who did Bryan ever got too high to where he had to do this kind of stuff? If he did, or if he, I don't think he did it. I don't know, but in his inner part could have did it. I don't know. I want to take that back to him.
He was all right. I knew his sister. I went to school with his sister. And I knew his father worked for the school. And I believe his mother did too. But his family, they were all nice people. And, his dad was always really nice to me, very polite. But I never thought that he would do something like that.
Good copy. So we've heard from some people that surrounded him that there may have been drug use in his life prior as well. Did you know him to use drugs or anything like this, sir?
Yeah, he did use drugs. That's how I really know him too. He was a big heroin addict, and so was I. I got 6 years clean now. I work in.
Okay. This is what Bryan need to be telling his lawyer, y'all, his attorney. Bryan got to open up his mouth and talk. He's so smart, he had to talk to get where he is. But then he could have went back dipping in drugs, y'all. But why did he choose them? Did his and a person choose them? Did they ever do, did any of the girls in the house ever do drugs with Brian? I'm just saying, did any of those girls ever did any kind of drugs in that house with Brian? Brian could have relapsed and he slipped, allegedly, and did this.
and treatment and everything. But back then I was
Hey.
using, and so that's how I know for a fact he was using. I've got high with him a couple times and used with him. And I remember one night we went out and his car broke down, and his dad had to come out, and he got pretty angry. Well, because his car broke down and everything, and we couldn't get what we needed that night. But and I knew other people that dealt drugs, and we would deliver drugs to him a lot. And
Okay, I got a question. I asked y'all what's drugs in this case. I felt drugs was in this case, y'all. I got a question to ask you people who watching. Please put it in the comment section. I would like to hear from y'all. Do you think Brian could have relapsed and did something and took and he could have relapsed and did a favor for drugs? Could he do? Could he be the a part took a part in the killing? A relapse and did this to those people, or did he lose it as he was doing this to them? Or is he just taking the blame for whoever did it? Or either did he do any drugs with the people, the four Idaho kids, the Idaho college students? Which one did he do drugs with? Allegedly, did he do any drugs with either of the girls? We can't say what our children won't do. We will hope they do. This dude just said they did drugs together back then. If you look at Brian bone structure, it tells you a lot. But did Brian is Brian taking the blame for someone? Did he do a favor to get money? What did Brian do? How did Brian get his DNA get in that house? And I'm gonna say this is gonna be my last time. Think about it, people. You're gonna need more than one knife. Knife gets stuck inside of bones. The way Kaylee was hit, to me, allegedly, is a female. It's something ain't right about this case. The blood on the floor. He just told y'all Brian did drugs with him. And his car broke down and Brian got upset. He calls his father. He don't call his mom, he calls his father.
so that's when I heard about this case. I haven't heard from him in so long, and then I heard about this, and it said that he was going to college. I said, I haven't heard from him. I guess that's what he's been doing. He must have cleaned up. I know he was in and out of rehab a couple times, but
See, he in and out of rehab. Brian in and out of rehab. He cleaned for 6 years. Brian in out of rehab. Okay? So that's a problem that we having with this case. Was he dipping and dabbing and dabbing and dipping?
he really did. He cleaned up and
He cleaned up one time.
was going to college all these years.
Rich, I'm short on time, but I got to ask you one last question. We've heard from people that he had a track record of being inappropriate, borderline offensive to women. Did you ever see that in any of your interactions with him and interactions with women?
Not in my time knowing him. I've never seen him ever act like that towards women. I've never seen him come off that way ever towards anybody.
You know what? I'm gonna leave this with this, and y'all put it in the comment section. Brian Kohberger could be blamed for something he didn't even do. He could be blamed for something he was made to do to get money from a dealer. Who did he ever do drugs with in that house? What dealer like those girls in that house? It's something about that house and those girls in that house. Who got tricked by one of them girls? Did anybody steal or deal a drug? Why are everybody in that house? Something ain't right. But to listen to him, even though Bryan was on drugs, he still didn't see Bryan as a killer. So did Bryan relapse and go backwards and start needing money to do what he had to do? All right, y'all. Y'all leave in the comment section. This your girl, the real deal, Lanita's Gill. I'm out.